The time of year is July. The weather is wet. And unsurprisingly, the location is London. And I'm standing here filming on the Go 3 because I can, because it's waterproof. But how well does it actually perform underwater? Well, this time last week, I was in a slightly more sunnier place than I am now, and I went to test it out. So I touched down in sunny Montenegro and headed straight to the villa. Had a nice warm welcome from my mates on arrival. I settled in and took in the amazing views, then had a little snack, poured myself a cheeky drink, and then headed out on our first adventure, a beach club. Amongst all the partying, I did actually manage to get some underwater shots in the pool. There's two main video modes to shoot with on the Go 3. Free frame video, which only lets you shoot up to 1440p with a max frame rate of 50, or normal video mode where you can shoot up to 2.7K but with a max frame rate of only 30. I took some shots using both modes to see how the quality differed, and here's how they turned out, starting with free frame mode. So this clip is shot using free frame mode at 1440p, upscaled to 4K for this video, 30 frames per second, and no color correcting has been done. I think it does look pretty good. It's not the best quality, but it's definitely usable. And by the way, this is all shot in auto mode, hence the exposure changing. You can turn on something called Aquavision through the Insta360 Studio by going to the Media Processing tab on the right hand side, and then you'll find it under Image Processing. I guess it's supposed to enhance it, but this is what it looks like with it on, and to me it looks a little bit more dull, so I definitely prefer it with Aquavision turned off. And just in case you're wondering, the mic does still record underwater, and this is how it sounds. Now let me show you some clips shot in the normal video mode. Yes, this is me on my mate's back, about to drop the camera in. There we go. This is now all shot in the normal video mode at 2.7K at 30 frames per second, upscaled to 4K for this video. Aquavision is turned firmly off, and yeah, I think it actually does look slightly better than the previous video. It's not a million times better, and it's not that noticeable, but obviously shooting in a higher resolution will make the final video better quality. And that is our time at the beach club done. But we are not finished there. It's now time to head out on a boat ride and get into the sea. So we headed to the marina bit where the boat was due to pick us up from. Marina? Is it marina or harbour? Anyway, whatever it is, we made it onto the boat and headed straight out to sea.
Just you and me. Summertime, get ready, we are so divine. Blue water and yellow sand. Let's live our dream. Summertime, get ready, we are so divine. Blue water and yellow sand. Just you.
This would have been the part of the video where I would have loved to insert some drone shots, but unfortunately, me being the clumsy person I am, just on that day, launched the drone too close to the railings that were at the end of the boat, and as I launched it, the propellers hit the railings and it flipped straight into the sea. And I literally stood there and watched it sink. Some of my mates were already in the sea at this point and tried to save it, but it was just too deep for them to get to. But the hero boat driver jumped in, and in one jump, swam to the bottom and brought it back up.
Oh my god.
He's gonna save it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Anyway, lesson learned. Do not try to launch the drone too close to anything else. Now, I'm not a massive fan of getting into the sea, but I finally did, and I must say I found it quite hard to film whilst being in there. Because the Go 3 is so small and what had literally just happened to my drone, I was constantly worried about the camera dropping out my hand. I'm sure there's an accessory out there where you can strap it onto your hand, but for this I was literally just holding it. I did get some help filming from some of my mates, so all the clips you're about to see was shot in the normal video mode and Aquavision is turned off. So in conclusion, I think the Go 3 performs really well underwater. The footage comes out crisp and clean. I would personally keep Aquavision turned off, but everyone's look is different, so maybe mess around with it and see what works for you. I know free frame mode gives you a little bit more flexibility later to change the framing, but you are losing some quality. So in my opinion, the best underwater settings simply are normal video mode at 2.7K, vivid as the color profile, the sharpness turned to low, the bitrate turned to high, and I shoot at 30 frames per second. Obviously the frames per second will be different for everyone based on what you usually shoot in. Set the stabilization to max, and if you don't want a fisheye look, set the shooting style to linear. And just remember, the Go 3 can only be taken underwater out of the action pod.